What's up, YouTube? Jade up here, and I know you guys are probably seeing this like, oh my fucking god, he's doing another branded video. Well, like I always say, I love branded content, hence why I have a branded playmat. Branded's my favorite deck, but I've done a bunch of deck profiles and combo videos, but I feel like doing a more in-depth kind of deck profile, and this might end up being a longer video. So I mean, if you guys don't like it, I'm sorry. That's weird how that's like glitching out. I swear it's a real playmat. It's just weird how it's reacting with the lights. Anyway, anywho, so I wanted to come on here and do like an in-depth deck profile, kind of like really explain like why I'm playing what I'm playing, and like other options you could play possibly if I can think of any. I just wanted to do something like that, kind of like let you guys know in like the way my thinking, my thought process on the deck, because I've been playing this deck for a very long time. If my very first list, I actually have it. I actually know where my very first list was. If you guys would like to see what my very first list was, let me know down in the comments down below. And if you guys do want to see it, don't laugh. It was atrocious. I didn't really have a lot of cards. I kind of just tossed it together with what I had, and it was really bad. But if you guys want to see my very first branded deck profile, let me know down in the comment section down below. Also, if you guys have a problem with me with like holding the cards and stuff, I still honestly am a little bit nervous behind the camera. I'm slowly getting over it, but I'm still nervous behind the camera, so I'm still kind of like twitchy and whatnot. And I kind of, yeah, kind of thing, because I don't always figure out what I want to say. But I'm trying to get better at it, and I know I've rambled on for like a minute already. So anyway, so 2 Albaz. Some people play 3. And I feel like that is okay for those people. Like, if you want to play 3, go ahead. You're not going to do anything else wrong playing 3. But I personally feel like 2 is correct, because of the fact that you don't want to see this you really don't want to see this in your opening hand. You want to be able to send this off branded fusion, and that's about it. But at the same time, I can also see benefits of opening it, but you don't want to open it going first. Open it going second is fine, because you could just summon it and fuse away with something your opponent controls. But I feel like in this current format that we're in, and the current iteration with the cards that we have available to us, I don't feel like a third Albaz is needed or warranted. But again, that's just my opinion, and maybe it might change after the next set and whatnot come out, but I still feel that like only playing 2 is correct. Being able to just send it off branded fusion is what you really want to do. And yeah, so two Albaz I feel like is correct. You can play 3. I just, in my personal opinion, feel like 2 is the correct number for Albaz. 1 Cartesia. There are arguments for post next set playing 2, and I completely feel like those arguments are valid, because this card is going to be a lot more important, especially after Hypernova. But I also feel like the option of only playing 1 is valid also. This is your second and only other light target in the deck outside of Lubellion. This and Lubellion are your only light targets to make Albion with branded fusion, sending from deck. And I feel like 1 is enough, because you don't really want to draw this. You kind of want to just send it off branded fusion. Like, same thing with the Albaz. But you also don't want to play more than 1 right now, in my opinion, because not many things really besides Albion and the Finale Dragon and whatnot are really going to utilize this. But maybe after Cyberstorm, I want to say the set's called. Yeah, Cyberstorm Access. Maybe this card will be more potent at 2, and maybe I might have to try to pick up a second. Right now, I only can afford 1. It's last time I knew it was like $29. But I still feel like right now, even post Hypernova, 1 is correct, because you don't want to see multiples of this in your opening hand. And if you do open multiples of this, you're just going to cry, because there's really not much you can do. Like, yeah, you can go Cartesia, make Finale Dragon, but you're not really gaining any value off that Finale Dragon at that point, because you're just using 2 cards to make it that don't really get you any value anyway. So that's That's why I only play one, and I feel like one is correct for now. It might change post not Hypernova, post Cyberstorm. I don't remember what all the cards in that set do. I know we're getting another Ecclesia thing, which would be kind of fun to play an Ecclesia deck because there's like 4 or 5 iterations of her now. Anyway, so yeah, one Cartesia. That's all you really need. One Mercurier. I've seen people make an argument for 2 of him, but I feel like his effect to negate a monster effect being a hard once per turn. If I'm not mistaken, it's a hard once per turn. Yeah, you only use each effect of So both of his effects are hard once per turns. So I don't really feel the need for more than one of him. For again the same logic of the Cartesia, you don't want to draw it in multiples. I feel like one is correct. He's really searchable, obviously. You could easily recycle him with your branded regained. So I feel like just one of him is correct. You don't want to play any more than one. One Albion, the Shrouded. I don't think I've ever seen anyone besides newer players play more than one of him. So I really don't feel like I need to explain much about him. But I have seen arguments of not playing him at all. But I feel like it's completely incorrect because of the fact that he sets up so many different little plays and he gets you so many pluses, being able to just send a branded spell or trap to be able to put him back and draw a card. Or if you send the branded spell or trap from your hand, you get to summon him, and he's another Albaz name. So I feel like he is very much needed as only a one-of. I feel like not playing him is 100% incorrect. He just makes so many lines possible. So yeah, one Albion is definitely needed in my opinion. 3 Aluber the Boobers. I'm still on 3. I've tested out builds only playing 2. But they've been fine so far in testing, but I'm still iffy. So right now I'm still playing 3. I know I've seen some adventure. I think it was Patrick Hoban a few months back. I don't even know if it might have been a year now. He was playing a build that played only 2, but he was playing the adventure package also. So I could see why he only played 2. But it's really awkward with this card. I like him at 3, but at the same time I don't. He's good when he's good at 3, but then when you open like this and like a branded opening, it makes things awkward. Or like if you open 2 of him, it makes things awkward. But playing him at 3 is just basically, it adds so much consistency to the deck that you basically have to. I played him at 2 and it was fine, but the consistency also hindered at those times when I did play him at 2. So 3 Aluber is what I feel. Obviously, I don't really need to sit here and explain. Everyone knows 3 Aluber. I'm right now I was playing for a while 3 Tragedy. I'm right now on 2. I could see the argument of even cutting him down to 1. You don't really resolve Tragedy all that much, but you do at the same time. It's really weird. And Tragedy is another one of those weird cards that you can play multiples. You can play him at 3, you can play him at 2, you can play him at 1, and I feel like any build of that any numbers of those can be correct or incorrect. He's just a really awkward card, but he's so good at the same time. So I'm right now playing 2. I could cut him down to 1. I don't think I'd ever bump back up to 3, but we'll see after Hypernova. I might end up dropping it down to 1 to play another one of the new Bystials if I get them. I don't even fucking know his name, to be honest. But yes, the 2 Tragedy. It's really good. It's good when it's good, but it's bad when it's not good. So I don't know. I think I'm going to cut this card down to 1 in the future. But for right now, I'm just playing him at 2, and he's doing just decent at 2. I have had instances where I've bricked on him, and it really sucks. But he's also he just makes so many plays possible. So I don't know. I think I'm right now going to keep him at 2. We'll see, because he also helps other lines of combo lines go. But we'll see what happens. For Bystials, triple Magna Huts, 2 Druid Storm, 2 Sarnier, and 2 Lubellion. I I don't really know what else to say about these besides I feel like these ratios might be correct. I do really want to pick up a third Sarnier because I want to try three Sarnier, one Druid Swarm, or I may also drop Tragedy down to 1 to play a third Sarnier. I feel like Sarnier is the single best Bystial in the deck besides Lubellion, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to play 3 of him because I could just easily search him off Lubellion if I have Lubellion, or search him off Magna Hut, or go Magna Hut, and like say if I'm going second, I open Magna Hut, I can Magna Hut search Lubellion search Saronir, and then I just had the whole combo line set up already. But I feel right now that 3-2, this lineup right here is correct. Magna Hut is the overall best Bystial. There's a reason why he's at 1 in the OCG. Druid Swarm and Sarnier are kind of just back up. I feel like in this build, you want to prioritize Sarnier over Druid Swarm because of his ability. And I know I've said this in one of my videos, shown this combo in one of my videos with Brandon High Spirits and Sarnier. And then Lubellion, I tried 3. He's interesting at 3, but I feel like 2, and I know everyone says 2 is the correct number, so. And I'm not even going off the fact that everyone says 2 is correct. I've tried 3, and it does brick. So 2 is correct for him. Sarnier could possibly be a 3 of. Maybe. I'm debating. I've been testing it every on and off. It's really cool when it goes off, but again, it also is one of those things that you don't want to play too many Bystials, but you need to play Bystials. Because the Bystials are good when they're good, but they're also possibly, if you're going to go first with the stack, which you want to because you want to set up interruptions and whatnot, then the Bystials can be good, but then it can also bite you in the ass because they don't really do much for you going first. So I feel like this somewhat small of a Bystial package, only being 7 Bystials, and then you only count these as Bystials because they don't banish to summon. 7 Bystials and the 2 Lubellion, I feel like is the correct ratio right now. But I don't know my numbers through these 2. They might change, but we'll see. Okay, so moving on, I think, yeah, that's it for monsters. One thing that's not arguable, and then you can't argue this, just 3 fusion. I don't have to explain, just 3 fusion. You just run 3 fusion. It's the best card in the deck. 3 branded opening. It protects your fusions. It gets you to your Aluber, which is why I say you're basically playing 6 copies of Aluber because you don't summon anything else but Aluber with it. So I feel I don't think I even need to argue on this either. 3 opening, just being able to get to your Aluber is just correct. You want to just turbo to Aluber and be able to get your plays going. This is a card that I've been playing for a very long time. I have multiple videos explaining combos with this card on my YouTube. I feel like a lot of people do play Allure over this, but I just don't like having to banish the cards. I want them in the graveyard, which at the same point too, you can also make the argument that you don't want them in the graveyard because of the Bystials running around. It's giving your opponent more Bystial food. But in a deck like this, where it's all darks and lights, you don't really have that choice anyway, because you're going to give them Bystial food no matter what. So against stuff like that, it can hurt giving them free Bystial food. But the part is just so potent that I feel like you have to play it. Now, the argument for Allure is you draw the 2 cards, Pot of Greed is good. Yeah, I get it. But in the certain circumstances, I would rather be searching for stuff instead of just drawing blank cards because, say, I'm trying to unbrick my hand where I could use this to basically search Branded Fusion, or if I was to just do Allure, I could just draw into, more stuff that I can't play. So it also comes down to deck building too. This deck can go first, and it can go second. I've really tweaked the build to go both, but at the same time, I still just feel that being able to search what you need at that given moment basically is better than just drawing 2 blank cards. And I've said that for a while. So 3 high spirits, the 1 regained, the 1 lost, and the 1 red. I don't feel like I need to really say much about these. 1 red, I've said this multiple times. I don't think you need to. Just because the fact that the Shizu Shufflers and the Bystials are so prevalent, just the fact that you have to add to be able to fusion. So if they were to Bystial Shuffle back, you don't get your fusion. Or if they were not Bystial Shuffle back, sorry, if they're to Mudora Keldo Shuffle back, you don't get your fusion. So it's basically just a dead card. It's the way to negate it, basically. And then regained and lost. I don't feel like I need to argue on those 2. Lost is just absolutely insane, and then regained is just really good at being able to just recycle back your Bystials on your opponent's turn when they summon, and being able to, if something's banished, put it back and draw a card. So I don't feel like these need to be in multiples. 1-ofs are just perfectly fine, especially red. I don't feel like you should playing more than 1 red. I've also heard arguments for another card, branded in white, which, let me pull it out. I have it right here. I've heard arguments for this card, and I have tested it. It is really cool, the stuff that it can do. I just don't feel like it does enough to warrant a spot in the deck. But if you have tested this card and it's testing out good for you, I would say go ahead and play it. I just feel in my play style of the deck, it is not that good. But other people have other play styles of the deck, which is kind of why I love. That's one reason I love this deck, because multiple different play styles exist. You can play the deck basically however you want to. So there is really no right or wrong way to play it. I'm just basically going over the way that I play it, so you guys can kind of have a little trip, kind of inside my head of where I'm going with this kind of build. 3 super polys. I don't know if I'm going to keep 3 in the main. I may work 1 to the sideboard and only playing 2, but every time I consider dropping it down to 2 from 3, it just wins me a game, and I'm like, well, fuck that. I guess I'm keeping it 3. Basically, for board breakers too, you also have the 3 droplet. I do love droplet, even in a going first deck, just considering the fact that you could just set this and use this proactively on their turn to help stop them from making boards and whatnot. So I feel like even in a going first deck, droplet is so good because of that fact. That's why it's better than Dark Ruler No More. Plus, if you have to, you could droplet and then still push for game, where obviously with droplet with Dark Ruler you cannot do that. So I feel like, I know most people don't play droplet. I think I'm one of the only people that play droplet right now. And I know people obviously play Super Poly, but I've seen lists cut Super Poly, but I still don't feel like that's correct at all. I like having these 6 board breaking cards, especially this one, because it could be board breaking or it could be defensive. So that's why I play these. They win games, so I feel like they need to be played in this kind of a deck. For traps, Beast, Banishment, and Retribution. Beast is obvious, just the protection that it gives you, being able to just pop 1. Banishment's a really good comeback play, and this also does really good against the tier matchup, being able to just really summon the stuff back, being able to summon back your fusion, and then use stuff from their graveyard to make your fusions and whatnot. So that kind of helps you. That really does help you in the tier matchup, just being able to keep them from making their fusions while also making your own. And then Retribution, you never really use its on-field effect, but it has come up every now and then, just randomly on the off chance I draw it, set it, and I've been able to flip it, put 2 back. I'm pretty sure it's put 2 back. It's been a while since I've actually activated this card. Yeah, okay, so I'm rereading the cards that I haven't actually activated in a while. I normally just use this as a graveyard effect to banish it, to add back a branded spell or trap, but its on-field effect can come up every now and then. But its main use is for the graveyard effect. Plus, this is good because of the what's it called? The Sarnier and the you guys have seen the combo. The Sarnier with Albion to send this and something else to add it to your hand. Plus, against Ishizus, this does come up against the Ishizu tier deck for when they make you mill. You mill this, you can bring yourself back and do cool little plays. I've actually, against Ishizu tier, they've milled this. I had this in the graveyard. I was able to banish this, bring this back, and then hit them with a banishment again, and they couldn't really do anything after that. I kind of just won the game after that. So, yeah, that's it for the main deck. I'm not playing. There's cards I know that a lot of people play. I know people have been really heavily advocating for Dramaturge, and I was for a long time. But in the recent times that I've played the deck, Dramaturge has just never come up as that much. I basically just use this as discard fodder, discard it, and don't care about it. So, in my wanting to cut this deck down from 42 to 40, I did cut the Dramaturge and the third Tragedy. That's what changed from my last list. I know it's like, oh, you make 2-card changes. Why you're making a whole fucking video? I'm just going over an in-depth. That's why this video is already over 20 minutes. So, if you guys watch this long, you guys are awesome. I know some people are still on the hype for Ad-Libitum. I don't feel like this card is correct right now. While his being able to bring stuff back is good, but his main purpose was the branded in red line to make, you would make Mirror Jade, have this in hand, you'd brand it in red, or even have this in the graveyard, add this back off of branded in red, fuse with this and your Mirror Jade to make your Guardian Chimera, and then you would use this to bring back your Mirror Jade that you just fused away to be able to use Mirror Jade again to pop something, and then Chimera possibly pop something. I think he might trigger. He might know his timing. I'm not 100% sure. I started playing the deck, and I never really had that combo line because I didn't have the Ad-Libitum at the time, or the Reds. But, so, I know people play that. I just don't feel those are correct. If you can't afford... I have a budget list on my channel also. If you guys want to go back and check that, if you can't afford the Bystials, there is a budget alternative list. If you guys want to see more in depth about that list, I guess I could do one, but I don't feel the need to make a 20-something minute video about that list in depth when I have this one. Another card that people are playing on and off that I see is this one is Springen's Kit. While I absolutely love Kit as a card, I just don't feel like she's correct right now. She may be when that one new one comes out in the next set. Lundworm, I forgot his name completely. I think it's like Lindworm or something. She might be cool with that card, but I still don't feel like she's correct. She does fix your hand, so I mean, if you want to play her, she's really cool, but I don't see the need for her. Anything else I should talk about? No. Alright, so I have this sitting here. This is my collection binder for my Albaz lore stuff. Anyway, so going on to the extra deck. 3 Albion. I feel like I shouldn't even have to argue on this. Albion is just the best fusion in the deck right now, just to be able to start your plays and whatnot. If you lose your Albion, you pretty much cry. So you go through them so fast. That's why I play 3 of him. 2 Lubellion. I was messing around a little bit with him only at 1. But I feel like with the way Kashtira plays, being able to rip cards out of your extra deck, you're going to need 2, because if they take away your 1 and you don't have access to him at all, it's going to be a really hard day, a really, really bad day for you. So 2 of him right now is correct. And then same thing with 2 Mirror Jade. There's arguments to only play 1 Mirror Jade. But with Kashtira being able to just rip cards out of your extra deck, you're going to want another copy of him in there to be able to kind of make a board presence again to try to win the game. But Kashtira is going to be a little hard of a matchup. But the Mirror Jade, anything that's really vital right now, you're going to want to play at least 2 of, just because of the fact that Kashtira can just take it out of your extra deck. 1 Albalinatus, he's not really that vital, hence why I'm only playing 1. He's really cool against against any dragon deck. I think you guys might have seen it in that one replay I did. That one replay montage. I was playing as Black Wings. He made like 3 different dragons. I just set this and just contacted his entire board away. That was fun. But yeah, 1 Alba, you don't really need it that much. He comes up and he comes up, but then mostly he's just to send with high spirits for the dragon. So that's why you only play 1. He's not that necessary, but he's necessary at the same time. But he's not as necessary as these other names right next to him. 1 Queritus for now. I don't see this card staying in the deck that long. This is probably going to come out soon. After the next set, if I can get my hands on Finale Dragon, he would definitely come out for Finale Dragon, because I never make this card. I literally have never been like, oh, you know what's going to be good? Queritus. Well, actually, that one game that you guys seen where I, in that one replay montage where I branded it red into Queritus, and then I super polyed the Queritus in whatnot way. He's interesting, but I don't feel the need to play him anymore after the next set. So he's probably going to come out. Chimera. I love this card, but I honestly can tell you guys, I have not summoned this card in months. It's been ages since I've made a Guardian Chimera. So I don't know if he's going to actually even stay in the deck. He might be another one that comes out. Also, you guys notice I'm not playing Masquerade, the Tax Dragon, anymore. I never made him. There was never a point where I could even make 2 of him, just because of the way that the build is going these days. I'm not playing the Fright for package or the field spell, so I don't feel the need for Tax Dragon anymore at all. He's cool, he's niche, but he doesn't really do enough. But anyway, back to the topic. Guardian Chimera, he's used to be just really fucking good, but now you just don't make them. So he might end up coming out of the deck entirely. We'll see what ends up happening. And then I'm right now playing the Shadal package. It's not that important, hence why there's only 1 ofs. There could be arguments for playing something else other than these, which we'll see what ends up happening after the new set and whatnot. But I still do like summoning Winda. Like I said, there's not a lot of decks that can out Winda. And just being able, I mean, there's decks that can, don't get me wrong. And in those decks that you can, that's when you set up with the play, like I said, with having Banishment to set to be able to come back after they get over the window. But at the same time, there's a lot of decks that can't get over window, but there's decks that can. So it kind of just, I don't know. I'm testing it out right now, see how I like it. There's arguments for other stuff, but I right now don't even know what I'd even play, honestly. There's even arguments that I'd probably end up taking out these for Lindworm and Finale Dragon if I get my hands on them after they come out. I don't know how I'm going to build the deck after the new set. I have some theory builds that I'm testing out, but right now I like it, but I don't like the one in the package. It's cool, but it's not cool. It's really hard to explain, so that's just that. And then last but not least, the Mud Dragon, the Garuda, and the Dracos Tapelia. I don't really know if I really need to get into details about this. It's your super poly targets. The Mud Dragon it comes up enough to warrant the addition. I've heard people talk about dropping Mud Dragon, but I don't feel like that's correct because you don't know what you're going to play against at different level events. Maybe at a higher level event where decks that Mud Dragon can be made against aren't that prevalent, maybe you don't want to play them. But I feel like Garuda and Dragos Tapelia are the main ones. Mud Dragon's just good against those random decks. So, yeah, I feel the need to still play them all. But that's kind of it. And like I said, this was a long video. Like, I've not made a video this long in fucking ever. So, I just wanted to get on here and make a long video, kind of let you guys into my head and my thought process of why I'm playing these cards. I have a feeling no fucking body's going to watch this video this long, so I don't really know why I made it this long. If you did watch it this long, leave like a comment, like something silly, like gumdrop or bubbles or something like that. Leave, you know what? Go write down in the comments and be like, Dragon Go Rar. If you got this far in the video, write Dragon Go Rar in the comments, please. I want to see if people actually watched it this long. So if you guys want to see more longer, in-depth videos, let me know. If you guys don't, tell me shut the fuck up and stop making long-ass videos. Stick to short videos. So if you guys like this video, you know, just let me know. If you guys hated it, let me know. And yeah, I'm out. Peace.